guys, I've got an absolutely fantastic update for you today when it comes to the iPhone 8. We've received lots of rumors, lots of leaked spec leaks, feature leaks, a lot of juicy details. So I'm very excited to talk about that today. First off, I wanted to say I hope you enjoyed our teaser and concept of the iPhone 8. We worked, oh my goodness, so hard. You guys have no idea how frustrating it is to try and render video when it comes to modeling. So we used to do pictures, now we're getting into video. I hope you guys liked it. It wasn't easy, and this is in our eyes the idea of what the iPhone 8 should look like. The subtle curved edges. A lot of people say it looks like the Galaxy. I honestly disagree. We try to differentiate the design a lot, the sleek looking speakers. There are cameras though. A lot of people think that there are no front-facing cameras. If you look closely inside of the earpiece, we did implement them there, even the iris scanner. We did give it an updated dual lens design on the back, as well as a few other things we'll talk about later in this video, but I hope you guys liked it. So let's get into those juicy details. Now, there has been a new report from the Wall Street Journal. They did confirm that the iPhone 8 exclusive model would have that dual edge curved display. That's nothing new. In the details though, they said that Samsung would be the one to make this display. Personally, for me, no complaints. I think Samsung makes the best displays on the market right now. So if they can get some of that goodness into the iPhone, so we can have that organic LED display, by all means do it. It's just kind of funny that these competitors do collaborate once in a while and bring Samsung parts to iPhone. And they did confirm that there would be no home button on this year's iPhone 8. No word about the cheaper 7S models. Exclusively, the iPhone 8 will not have one, in favor of a chin area. On the bottom of the display, there will be a certain function area for keys, which I'll talk about in just a second, but I just wanted to mention that Wall Street Journal confirmed this, a very reputable news source. So they did go on to mention USB-C. That's probably one of the biggest points I wanted to talk to you about today, because the iPhone 8, if Wall Street Journal is saying, is actually shifting to USB-C, that'll be pretty monumental. I mean, I honestly just don't see it happening because of how much money and effort Apple's put into their Lightning-based connector. But USB-C ultimately is a very smart choice for Apple. It might raise the price of the iPhone by just a little bit because of licensing fees, but USB-C ultimately is the best choice. For example, you just got your iPhone 7 and you can't plug in your headphones into your MacBook because it has these ports, but your connector on your headphones is different. Or let's say you wanted to plug in the headphones from the MacBook into the iPhone. No luck, that won't work. Also, the charging cable included in the box with the iPhone 7 will not work directly with this computer. Having USB-C on the iPhone totally makes sense because it will fix all of these problems. One port across all devices. That means with your new MacBook, you can directly out of the box begin charging the iPhone with the included cable. So that's fantastic. It should happen. Will it? Who knows? I mean, Apple has been using the 30 pin since 2003, then they upgraded to Lightning in 2012. It just seems a little bit sudden. Apple is very slow at adopting these technologies, but it may happen after all, according to Wall Street Journal. Now, as good as this does sound, a world where all devices are connected out of the box using one standard, it was quickly shut down by a managing director from Barclays who says this probably won't happen. USB-C is just too much of a hurdle for Apple to overcome right now. Instead, what they will probably do is conform to European standards by including an adapter in box with the iPhone 8. This way they can keep selling iPhones with Lightning connectors but still have a USB-C solution. So he says just an adapter, not the real thing. And in fact, Apple has actually done this in the past in Europe, and it conforms to the European standards. I think a lot of you guys will love this one. So a Morgan Stanley analyst is claiming that battery life will be a key selling point of the iPhone 8. So a lot of older users with 2-year-old iPhones and even a little bit older are going to consider buying the iPhone 8 because Apple will be marketing the battery life as a huge improvement in the iPhone 8. This is great news because we heard some news before that the battery would be getting smaller, and this means that it will be actually getting longer in life even though it will be getting smaller. So that is great. She says also there is a pent-up demand, particularly in China, where a lot of people have older phones, and especially in an iPhone that has better battery life, they're just going to want to upgrade, as this is a super cycle upgrade. You know, a huge redesign for the iPhone. It's really going to drive sales. And I'm actually very proud to show you guys this. In my last video, we talked about the battery of the iPhone 8. It's going to feature this next-gen, almost magical-like battery technology. Ming Chi Kuo first reported on this, and basically the iPhone 8 will have a new technology that minimizes the amount of space the logic board takes up inside of the iPhone 8 shell. Now, this is an attempt to make the battery bigger. And another problem, the iPhone 8 is going to be a deceptively small device. It's going to be about the same size as a 4.7-inch iPhone 6, 6S, and so on. So it's not going to be a very big device. It'll have a big screen, but it won't be very big itself. That creates a problem, less room for battery life. So using this technology, Apple is going to create a 2-cell L-shaped battery. And this is what it will look like. We've actually animated it and created it just to give you an idea of this new technology. I was so excited upon hearing this that I immediately wanted it to be modeled and showed to you guys. So here's the battery and here is the actual logic board. It's stacked. So Apple is going to be using a new stacked technology in order to minimize the space taken up by the logic board, but everything will still be there, just very, very compact. This means you can get a bigger battery than usual, 2700 milliamps versus probably something much smaller if they didn't use this technology inside the shape of the iPhone 8. Now, it's 200 milliamps smaller than the iPhone 7 Plus, which is 2900 milliamps. Ming-Chi Kuo did say that it would be comparable or possibly even better battery life than the iPhone 7 Plus. And the fact that the iPhone 8 is going to have that very efficient organic LED display and the new 10nm A11 chip means it'll be extremely efficient. Also from my man Ming-Chi Kuo, he has actually detailed the resolution of the iPhone 8. He says there will only be 5.15 inches of usable screen space, but you're going to get a considerably sharper display compared to the 7 Plus. It's going to get a PPI or pixel density of 521 versus 401 on the 1080p display on the iPhone 7 Plus. So the overall screen size will be 5.8 inches, but you're not going to be able to interact with the entire thing. As the lower portion, there will be a dedicated area for the function keys. Here you'll have the home button, possibly some other buttons incorporated in there, but he says that'll be dedicated just for the buttons. Now here's some technology that sounds like it's straight out of a movie. Apple has actually patented this, and it sounds crazy, but Apple actually knows how to do it. So it's very complicated. Excuse me, but I am going to have to read this. The patent describes acoustic imaging architecture, which is basically a method in which the capacitive Touch ID sensor is replaced with an array of acoustic transducers. A lot of fancy words in there. I will try to break this down for you. So what this technology allows you to do is, of course, use your fingerprint anywhere on the display. It doesn't have to be in a certain area. Beyond that, it can actually tell the difference between your fingerprint ridges or maybe your ear. If you put your phone up to your ear, it can tell the differences in skin. That is just insane. That means you no longer need a proximity sensor on the top of your phone, which would make the look of the phone much cleaner, as we have demonstrated in our concept. Also, this goes further. Not only can you put it on the display, you can actually put this technology anywhere on the phone, on the outer ridges of the display, or completely on the back shell of the phone. So this opens up a whole world of possibility without a home button. That is just crazy. We're unlikely to see this on the iPhone 8, but future iPhones may actually incorporate this technology. So TrendForce has released a new report. These guys, I don't talk about it much, but last year they predicted that the iPhone 7 would have 32, 128, and 256 gigabytes of storage. So in this report, they are saying the iPhone 8 will come with only 64 and 256 gigabytes of storage. So you get a very low one or a very high one. No in between there. Also, the iPhone 8 will have 3 gigabytes of RAM, so it won't have an upgrade over the iPhone 7 Plus, even though it does have much more pixels to push, but they're saying it'll stay the same. And Ming-Chi Kuo said the iPhone 8 will have a revolutionary front-facing camera with 3D modeling abilities. So from a simple photo, you'll be able to model the basic structure of your face, possibly replacing Touch ID with this, using algorithms from a company they purchased back in 2013 called Prime Sense. It's really cool, the possibility of this, and Apple is supposedly working very, very hard to make it happen. They want this to be one of the key selling points of the iPhone. And further confirming this rumor from Ming-Chi Kuo, Apple has just purchased a startup from Israel called RealFace that allows you to take a photo and quickly model a 3D image from it. So, this all adds up. There really will be a huge upgrade to the front-facing camera on the iPhone 8. It doesn't look good for the iPhone 8. The possibility of a $1,000 iPhone is becoming more and more real. So an analyst from JP Morgan is saying that the technology used to make the 3D modeling happen with the front-facing camera will cost $10 to $15 per device. Margins are everything when it comes to selling a device for a good amount of money. Plus, Apple has to market it, package it, sell it. It adds up. So this means the reality of a $1,000 iPhone is really starting to stack up. Plus, there will be that 3D Touch Gen 2 that will be $5 per device. In case you guys didn't know, an iPhone overall costs about $200 to $250 to make. So having these parts cost so much is crazy. It really will add up. And man, this thing is going to be expensive. Now, TSMC is almost done with its work on the A11 chip. this thing is going to be absolutely legendary. So it has a 10 nanometer structure. It's going to be very powerful, very energy efficient, which is very good for battery life. And they're set to begin commercial shipments in March. So Apple's processor game, which is already so good, is only going to keep getting better. TSMC is said to start working on the 7 nanometer construction in March already, with 5 nanometer in 2018. Not something I usually talk about, but modems. So Intel has released its new modem called the Intel XMM 7650. And this is a huge upgrade over the iPhone 7. This is probably the one going into the iPhone 8 just because it's already released. It's on time for the production date of the iPhone 8. So it features 1 gigabit speeds. That's insane. That's over double of the iPhone 7, which can do 450. Upload is 225, which again is over double versus the 100 the iPhone can do right now. Now, most carriers can't even support this. It's going to take a while for 5G to roll out to even get anywhere near these speeds, but it's good to be future-proofed, of course. The best thing about this modem is that it now supports CDMA. That means it doesn't matter which carrier you buy your iPhone from. As long as you unlock it, you'll be able to use it on any carrier. Currently, if you buy an iPhone 7 from T-Mobile or AT&T, you won't be able to use it on Sprint or Verizon. But if you buy it from Verizon, you can use it on AT&T and T-Mobile, which is very confusing for consumers. But this new modem in the iPhone 8 will allow you to use the iPhone with all carriers, just as long as it is unlocked. Anyways, guys, that's the latest on the iPhone 8. A lot of exciting stuff. Much faster LTE, that beautiful display, better battery life, the 3D sensing camera, even USB-C. This is shaping up to be quite the release, and I'm so excited for it. But just wanted to say thanks for watching. As usual, I'll keep you updated on all of the latest news. I'm so excited. So excited. But first, the S8 comes. Anyways, guys, have a great day. Peace.